This is News with the Disney Dude. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel for more content, and please hit that thumbs up if you like the video. But now here's the news for Friday, July 25th of 2025. I can't even believe that this is the last show for July. I can't. I just can't. I can't even believe that July is just about over. Alright, we're going to get this first story out of the way because this is a rant. Alright. So, new Magic Kingdom signage has been added to the Magic Kingdom parking lot, which I'm going to call it by its correct name in a second. But it mistakenly there's a mistake. There's a mistake on this. So the signage is the circular sticker, and it has the Cinderella Castle and everything. And on it says the Ticket and Transportation Center. Disney, stop calling it the Ticket and Transportation Center. That's not what it is called. I hate that. I hate it when Disney calls it by the wrong name. And even the cast members even say the Ticket and Transportation Center. Please do not say that. Alright? That is wrong. It is the Transportation and Ticket Center. Alright? That's what this is. That's what it's called. Alright? Please stop calling it the Ticket and Transportation Center. It drives me insane. Alright? Every time I hear a cast member say that, I have to turn around and correct them. Because it just drives me bananas. Alright? Now, will average guests notice it? No, probably not. But us hardcore Disney fans, come on. I mean, seriously, why are you calling it the wrong name? Why are you calling it the wrong name? It is not the Ticket and Transportation Center. It is the Transportation and Ticket Center. Alright? I don't understand why Disney... I thought it was bad enough from the cast members. And now Disney themselves is changing that. I hate that. I hate it. Please remove it. Please stop saying it. That is not the correct way to say it. Alright? It drives me insane. Stop it. I know I sound idiotic. I know I sound insane. But that's what it's called. It's called the Transportation and Ticket Center. Not the Ticket and Transportation Center. Soundtrack for Disney Starlight Parade is now available on all streaming services. So you can now download all of the parade's music. I really like the music in the parade. The parade's garbage, but I really like the music. So iTunes or wherever you get your music, go check it out. Download it, and yeah, you can listen to the parade music without having to watch that god-awful parade. Walt Disney World is testing new character meet and greet line signage. This is great. So, for those that don't know what this is, they're only, as far as I know, they're only testing this at Animal Kingdom right now. So, like, Donald's Dino Bash for however long that lasts, but he's still meeting in his Dino Bash outfit. So, the character attendants at the front of the line are holding up signs now with the picture of whoever the character is. So if it's Donald Duck, they have a picture of Donald Duck. If it's Pocahontas, they have a picture of Pocahontas. If it's what's another what's another character that meets outside? Gosh, I don't even know. But you get the idea. You get the idea. So, because, Walt Disney World has a lot of international tourists, and a lot of them don't speak English. Okay? It's frustrating, but, it's, a lot of them don't speak English. So, this is a really nice way to tell them that, hey, this is the character, without even telling them, this is the character that's meeting here. And they'll look at the sign and they'll say, oh, that's Donald Duck. Oh, that's Pocahontas. Oh, that's Mickey Mouse, or whatever. So I think that's great. I really, really like that. So more of that. I'm hoping that this will roll out to all of the theme parks. But I really the signs are really nice. They're really nice quality. So, I even though I speak English, and obviously I'm a crazy person and go to Disney parks all the time. I know all where the meet and greets and all that are, but if I was a non-English speaking tourist and had trouble communicating to the cast members, they have a sign. They have a sign now that says, this is where Donald Duck is. This is where Pocahontas is. This is where Mickey Mouse is. This is where Pluto is. So I think that that's great. That is absolutely wonderful. So again, I'm hoping, more of this, please. More of this, please. All right? Because that's great. That is absolutely great. Construction markers materialize in the Haunted Mansion graveyard. It could, some of it could be demolished for Magic Kingdom expansion. So I really hope that they're not closing. I mean, Disney hasn't said anything, but I really hope that they don't have to close the Haunted Mansion for this. But because the Rivers of America butted up against the Haunted Mansion, they obviously they have to get rid of the they've drained the river, they've started, they've moved the riverboat back, they're tagging props and everything. So, they have to, once they get, more along into that project, they have to fill in that whole area. So it can be, because the river's down here and the walkway's up here. So they have to, make it level. Okay? But I really hope that they don't, I really hope that the Haunted Mansion stays open. I hope that it doesn't have to close for this. There could be, problems with, where you can't go into the whole queue. So you may have to go into, you may have to skip part of that standby queue, which I think is great. I really like that standby queue. The interactive standby queue. I don't know if it's going to be, I would probably say that it's not going to be available once they, get this construction rolling and everything, but I don't know. We're just guessing here. But my biggest fear is that they would have to close the Haunted Mansion. And I really hope that that's not what they have to do. I really hope that, we can keep the Haunted Mansion open. We can keep, capacity in the park. When I was reading the story, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, it's different it's kind of different at Disneyland, because Disneyland is, obviously doesn't have, billions and billions and billions and billions of tourists a day. So, they can get they can get away with, a ride going down for refurbishment, or, a ride overlay, or whatever. Walt Disney World is different. It's significantly different. And I'm not saying that rides shouldn't go down for refurbishment, because they should, but, if you have to take a ride down for anything at Walt Disney World, it's very hard. It's especially with the ride that's as popular as the Haunted Mansion. I would say that the Haunted Mansion is probably one of the most popular rides at the Magic Kingdom. Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise is popular, but the Jungle Cruise problem is it only loads one boat at a time, so it's hard. It's very low capacity. But Haunted Mansion, Pirates, Small World, and then of course you have Tron and Seven Dwarfs and Big Thunder Mountain when that is open. You have rides that are very popular. And if you want to take out the roller coasters from the conversation, we can, and say Haunted Mansion, Pirates, Small World, those rides are popular because they have been around since, well, Pirates hasn't, but Haunted Mansion and It's a Small World have been around since the beginning. They have been around since the beginning. And Pirates can kind of go into that conversation. It opened 2 years later, 1973. So if you want to put it in that conversation, you can, but Mansion and Small World have been there since the beginning. So those rides are very popular, okay? And to even take one of those down is very, very hard. Very, very hard, okay? Because they're some of the most popular rides in the park. So I'm just really, really crossing my fingers and knocking on wood that we don't have to close the Haunted Mansion. I really, really hope not. If we have to wait in a different excuse me. If we have to wait in a different queue, I get it, I understand, but I would rather have the Haunted Mansion open than not open at all. So, and now we're approaching Halloween, and of course, the Haunted Mansion fits into, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, so, we hope that they don't have to close the ride, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. We're just gonna have to wait and see. New Tron Light Cycle Run apparel collection has arrived at the Magic Kingdom. You have t-shirts and sweaters, and it always confuses me. It always confuses me why Disney World sells sweaters. We're in Florida. Why do you need a sweater? But whatever. But you have t-shirts and sweaters and youth shirts and all kinds of merchandise. So go you can check that out now at the Magic Kingdom. I would probably assume it's going to be at the Exit Gift Shop. It may be at the Space Mountain Exit Gift Shop, but I don't know. I really have no idea. Tron's not a ride that I want to do, so I've never been on Tron. I know I'm going to get flack for that. Well, you've never been on Tron and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But, so I can't really speak on, but I would say that the Tron merchandise is going to be at the Exit Gift Shop. Epcot's Italy Pavilion Tower. Epcot's Italy Pavilion Tower refurb is now complete, if I could read. So, it is now completed. They've taken out the scrim, and now the tower is completely up and back to its former glory for you to enjoy now. Now it's, back to its three-dimensional high tower glory. Disney files construction permit for Aunt Polly's at Tom Sawyer Island. So obviously, no news really here. But, they have to, get rid of everything off that island. Everything has to go. It's, to coin an old phrase from these, old furniture commercials. Everything must go. So they have to get rid of everything, and they have to file construction permits and such. So, everything has to be removed from that island. But it is new, so, we have to, report on it. And now that, so that's the news, but one more thing I just want to plug real quick. I do want to remind you that I have been on the new test track, and I have experienced the new Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away parade. Both reviews are now up on the channel and ready for you to enjoy, as is a ride POV from Test Track and a video of the new god awful nighttime parade at the Magic Kingdom. Again, I'm gonna get flack for this, but I don't care. I hate that parade. It just feels real half-ass. It does not feel complete to me. So I really hate that parade. I just really wish that if it was going to be this way from the beginning, then maybe we should not have had a nighttime parade. Okay? And I'm sure people are going to come in the comments. They're going to be like, oh, this, Starlight's the greatest parade ever, and blah, blah, blah. It's not. It is not, okay? And look, I don't want to go into that whole conversation again. I've already done an honest review of the parade, but I do have both of those videos up, and as well as an honest review for the new test track, where I think that is a fantastic reimagining of that ride. I really love that ride. So, I gave you something that I hate, and now I give you something that I love. So, go check those out. Again, if you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to my channel for more content. I thank you guys very much for watching this video. You guys, please stay hydrated out there. This is Florida in the summertime. Please, 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 please stay hydrated. You guys keep each other safe and healthy. I will see you right back here on Monday. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend. and remember that tomorrow is just a dream away.